It is barely 3 weeks old, but judgments are already being made on who has had a good transfer window. So here goes. Tottenham have had a cracking one, so far. They have yet to recruit a single new player, but so what? In the madhouse of Premier League spending, they currently represent what counts for a muted voice of sanity. It seems, in this day and age, that it doesn't matter who you spend money on, just as long as you are spending. Just as long as you are seen to be spending. Everton is a club widely acclaimed to have had a good time of it in the market. That may well turn out to be the case. They have certainly registered a fair number of new faces, to such an extent they are being talked about as a club that will realistically compete with Spurs for a top 4 place. The bullishness of Everton supporters, even though they have lost their most important player, is understandable. They now have an owner with the resources and the commitment to invest in personnel. It is an exciting time to be an Evertonian. But would any one of Ronald Koeman's captures get into the Tottenham side? Michael Keane, with a recent relegation on his CV, ahead of Jan Vertonghen or Toby Alderweireld. Jordan Pickford, with an even more recent relegation on his CV, ahead of Hugo Lloris. David Klaassen, 6 years at Ajax without getting a big move, ahead of former teammate Christian Eriksen. You could go on. In Romelu Lukaku, Everton have lost the player who makes the greatest difference. He would not get into Spurs' team ahead of Harry Kane. Lukaku is now being paid at least double the amount Kane earns. Yet Kane is as certain to start the new season with Tottenham as Mino Raiola is to make another £50 million between now and the end of August. The point is that Tottenham have a very good, young, improving team. Keeping it together is the priority, not spending cash like a sailor on shore. With, in comparison to the rest of the Big Six, a relatively modest wage structure, this originally shaped up to be a fiercely challenging summer for Daniel Levy and Mauricio Pochettino. But there are few signs of prize assets being lured away or into discontent. Spurs have sold Kyle Walker for a £50 million fee that has become the mascot of the Premier League's financial insanity, and managed to get a player who they regarded as at least his equal, Kieran Trippier, to sign a new 5-year contract. Now we all know that strengthening from a position of strength is the key to ongoing strength. There is plenty of time left for Pochettino to do just that. But towards the end of last summer's window, Spurs appeared to spend just for the sake of it, and Moussa Sissoko turned out to be a £30 million dud. Pochettino has some good young talent coming through the ranks and, under his management, Spurs have got better in each of his 3 seasons. If he believes he already has a squad that can take another step forward, he should be trusted. With a willing accomplice in Levy, Pochettino is hardly adding to the fun of the transfer fair. But if it doesn't, and there are no more departures, this will still be a good window for Spurs.